Hey everybody, it's time to do a quick little Splinterlands rewards video, talk about how I got into the top 50, show you some of those teams that are working really good in Champion. Because see, look, I made top 50 here. I was about, in this league, about top 100. Then I made top 50 again this time. And it was pretty fun. But yeah, maybe because a little few people are playing or a lot of people didn't buy enough Rebellion cards yet. I also made my first video about Big Time. If you check it out, thank you very much. 200 views, and this one was 139. So I'm starting to think that at least a few of you are checking out the Big Time video. Thank you very much. Obviously, it's a little bit more to get into that game. I will be covering it a little bit more as long as I'm playing it. And I'm going to be probably covering a few other games as more and more is coming out. And I'm trying out more different things. All right, let's go ahead and get into Splinterlands. We're actually going to log out of the Steve account, and we're going to do something I forgot to do last season, and we're going to log in the Drazius account. Now, Drazius is botting in Wild, where botting is still legal. There is some talk about some people thinking that maybe we need to change that. Oh, caps lock is on. Go. Somehow I get caps lock on sometimes. Drazius needs to start doing his fray battles, so I'll need to start remembering to log in and do that. Sorry to the guild that is so nice as to let me in. And then we will go ahead and claim his season rewards. Now, he is botting in Wild with an account that used to make it into Gold before the changes to Wild. Now he seems to get, he got stuck, I believe, in Silver last week. But oh no, he's earning a gold chest on his daily. No, that must have been for the end of the season. So he did make it to gold by the end of the season. I don't know how many he got, so maybe we'll do a quick count before we open these and then we'll get into it. Overall, I'd say the account is doing okay with Archmage. Let's see, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 47 gold chests. Again, the account has mostly level 2, level 4 silver cards, like maxed out silver, and mostly Chaos Legion with a little bit of Untamed. Does not have any of the new set yet, so it has that disadvantage, and it doesn't have the big legendary summoners. I'm going through here kind of quick. We got our first legendary pull, and it's 2 Sorrel the Bales, so that was pretty cool for it. We also got a 24 SPS here, worth mentioning, and a 23 there. Those are pretty big numbers for gold chests. Let's see what else we can get as we go through these. 1,000 merits. That's almost a pack. Anything else? Some riverboat captains. We need those. Ooh, and we got a couple of the rocks. So overall, not bad rewards. This account is still just farming along. Now, what does an account that's been farming soulbound cards look like? With let's see here, own soulbound, Chaos Legion. As you can see, it's been a silver account. It's been playing this whole time, and it still has kind of low level cards. When it plays in gold and gets about 40 chests per season. Now, obviously, some of these cards are already at their max silver level with hundreds of extra copies, while other cards are still not even at the max silver level. They're a little bit below. And this account also has had some problem with Kulus, except for I believe it did get 3 gold Kulus once. So it does have that level 2 for silver and gold. It's going to be an interesting thing to see where this ends up when everything comes to an end. I think we got a few more of him, so we can actually push him up to the next level. Let's see, is that right? Yes, so we'll make him a level 3. Because my soulbound summoners are lagging behind a little bit, I don't think this account is taking as much of an advantage of the whole soulbound summoner gladiator thing, which is probably why it's been struggling a little bit. Also, without the new rebellion cards, it doesn't have those powerful combos anymore either. We're still need one more will o' the wisp to level that up. We can probably, we can push this one to another level. I think that's right. There we go. We'll push it up to level 3. No, me and Tails talked a little bit about when these come unlocked, about the idea, and tell me if you see this, that maybe you have to have, say, at least this level. Oh no, it would be like this level of the card, and then you can start selling your extras, and that card would have to get locked into your account to be able to unlock the other ones. Now, this might be a little bit of a challenging thing for Splinterlands to do, but a lot of people are worried that like a bot account like mine would go ahead and just sell these hundreds of copies and flood the market with cards, or a better bot account who's got even more would do even more. Well, I have to say that is a worry, because this account, unless I want to invest in the summoners, no reason to push this card higher than 5. But what if I had to get it to max level for gold, which is level 7? All right, well now, instead of 5, I'm going to have to put about 90 of those 100 cards into here to get it to 7. Still leaves me 20 that I can unlock and sell. If there's a market for the Coastal Century, I'll be able to unlock them and sell them to new players, but doesn't allow me to take that 150 and just say, I'm only a silver level, let me go ahead and sell all those extra cards. So that's just something I wanted to throw out there. I don't know if it's seriously enough to talk to Claiborne and see if we want to do that as a proposal, but just something that we're mulling around as we're trying to figure out how to best protect the value of those cards, but also allow them to become unlocked and people to be able to sell and trade them. All right, let's get into the Steve account. So I haven't played the account since the end of the last season. I took a complete day off. We're a couple hours away from the focus resetting. So first we need to go ahead and do the focus claim really quick. This is just to get it reset. The nice thing is with the new system, I can actually play for a couple hours past and still earn some chests. Oh, we're going to start with a legendary. We got ourselves 1 copy of Oost. I do have a maxed Oost, so that'll be extra. I'm still looking for the Dragon Legendary and some Kulu Swim Hunters. Ooh, can I get either one of them today? No, we get an Avis. But 2 Legendary cards in the 12 chests at the end of the season. That's not bad at all. As you can see, I only have 39 minutes, but this timer doesn't matter. I can continue to earn these chests until I decide to claim. Now, this is my only game in the new season. I had a nice win. And here was my game to get myself into the top 50. And we're not going to watch the whole battle, but I'll just show you this is one of the metas that really matters. It's basically using our red panda friend here, putting Grum in the front and putting healers in the back. As you can see, he did the same thing. The only thing that made me win this game, because neither one of us was going to get through the Grums with the 2 healers on the back, was the fact that I used Stitch Leech. Stitch Leech has that life leech, and this is one of the ways that you can help stop these games that sometimes go to triage from ending poorly. Use a character with life leech. It doesn't have to be Stitch Leech. There's some other cards, like if he would have used the Murdhand, the Archer doing 2, that also gains that life, he would have been competitive in this match. But instead, he used this one for the silence and the extra triage. So I didn't do the mana. I didn't count it out here. Maybe he didn't have the 1 additional magic for Murdhamper. But, he didn't really need this card on the board. That wasn't doing anything for him. It was just kind of a little bit of a throwaway. So as you can see, his life was going to just keep going up. He's going to get up into the 20s, and then he's just going to have too much life when the fatigue starts to happen. So we'll go ahead and skip. That was my big win over Lorcas. Very, very good player. And it got me my 52, got me up into there. If we go to the leaderboard for last season, there I am, number 45. I was number 39 after that win. A few people pushed ahead of me, but I got that nice little 20,000 DEC. Now, I did spend probably around 20,000 DEC, but hey, what are you going to do? Now let's go ahead and get into the season. On the season, I think I earned 88 chests. We'll go through some of the other battles, but that is the meta right now. If Yasik is not available and your mana is anywhere upwards of 43, you're using the Camouflage Grimbardoon rule set almost exclusively. It's kind of ridiculous. I'll tell you some of the ways that you can beat it though. All right, let's start clicking through these. We're looking for Shakies. 90 SPS isn't too bad, though, as much as I do like SPS, there's another 77. I am looking for the Shaky chest. I don't really need any of the regular cards. I do need some epics. There's a pack right there on the gladiators. So epics wouldn't be bad. Now, if they're going to all turn gold, I guess I'll take commons. Because who doesn't want some maybe extra gold copies to go work the land? We got a 286 SPS right there. Clockwork Aid is one of the epics I don't need. Oh, this one I do. So it's kind of a bummer that it was a chalk 1 copy. Would have liked to see that turn a little crooked there. Maybe like a 3 or a 4. The epics, it's funny. I've gotten 3 copies of legendaries occasionally, and I don't see it as much on the epics. There's a 496 SPS. That's not too bad. Oh, we haven't got a shaky yet. I guess you can't be too greedy when you get 2 shakies in 12. Maybe I used up all of that luck. Oh, there's an Urda. Didn't need her either. Also, just as I was going to say, the golds had kind of come to a stop. We hit 1. Let's see here. Oh, we got 2 this time, but they turned gold, so that's interesting. I don't have a max gold of him yet, so I don't know if that's going to do it. Let's see. Last 4. Are we going to get no champions? So no legendaries in those 88 champion chests. Or maybe it was 84 champion chests. Might have been 84. Kind of disappointing. Best pool, probably the gold rock. I call him rock. I don't know how to say KRARAR rock. Maybe I need to go listen to the lore if they talk about him to see how they decided to pronounce that. And I did get some decent SPS pulls. I'm not going to lie. There was like a 90, a 77, a 286. We also came through with this 496. And then I think we had one more decent size one. 23, so that's not too good. Okay, so now we get into some of the different metas. Now you can see Grimbardoon in the front. Grimbardoon in the front. Here's the other team that is meta is right here. I beat Mr. 8-Bot. So we'll bring this one up. It is Inevitable in the front with Avina, with a self-heal, with Izar behind. You can see he did kind of a similar build here, but he had the dry bone instead of the Inevitable. You also give healers. I was 1 mana short of being able to do 2 healers here, but also, let me show you why I didn't use the other healer. This was, I believe, it was odds, so I couldn't use the 4-cost archer. So I threw the Venari Muskrat here as another Mardar play, and then you do the 2 revivers. So the cards that are important are him, this, and this. At least one of the healers, because he will have a self-heal. The reason why you can usually get away with just 1 healer is that Izar should be taking the brunt of the damage, and this should be possibly the other healer, or because this is such a meta, you want to put a scatter shot monster here. Now, as you can see in this match, I really only ended up winning because my Inevitable got Mardar'd a whole bunch of times. He didn't have a Dispel. So it's also important, maybe if you can, to play a Dispel. Now, I didn't play a Dispel either, but the big difference here is with the double Resurrect compared to the single Resurrect, and the fact that it's just Inevitable just got ridiculous, and the dry bone doesn't have piercing, so he was just hitting armor the whole match, and I ended up winning that one. It was a pretty simple win. It was a pretty important win, even though it was only 10 points, because at the time 8-Bot was much lower than me, and it would have killed my progression up here into the upper marks of Champion 1. And then obviously here, when you're not playing, when Yasik is available, you can try him to beat the Grimbardoon. Now, I did lose this one to Zircon. He is obviously a very good player, and you get to fight him gold. You can see he did that meta. Now, what ended up happening here is just this meta right here. This is another meta I just want to show you. Is really powerful. So the weapons training mage with the Riftwing and the Will of the Wisp, because Will of the Wisp has that silence and weaken and a blind, to add on to that, the headwinds with a monster with backfire, it means that you're already within those two monsters picking up a whole bunch of magic damage, and you're weakening my side. So when this game started to progress, even though I wasn't going to be shooting Grim Bardoon and I had a chance at taking out some of those guys in the back, by the time all the debuffs were in place, I was only doing 2 damage or 1 damage. I was still doing 3 here with a little bit of splash, but I mean, I needed Dr. Blight to just be an all-star, and look what happened. Because you have to remember, here, I'm needing him to basically land afflictions and poisons in the back row. And he does it on the first one on the Riftwing, and so it looks like I'll be okay. But then they take out my slow, and they just start to just pummel me to death with all that magic damage. I mean, really, none of it is over 5. None of it is getting weakened. They're just melting away my frontline monster. Now, one of the things I could have done here that sometimes you do with Yasik, it makes it work, is you do a similar setup, and you put a very tankable monster up in the front. This was the one where we ended up going Yasik versus Yasik, and the big difference here was the fact that I had the Coral Lurker in the front who caused some misses compared to some of the speed on his side, especially because it was kind of an interesting match because he snipered me pretty good right there. That random shot taking out my Contessa. Then she came back to life, and watch, his Contessa's going to attack her, and she misses. But then, so he had 3 scatter shots in a row target Contessa. I thought that was going to screw me over because I lost. But then sometimes the scatter shots start to go your way, and I go ahead and get rid of that guy. I die there, and again, this was looking bad. But it's so funny how Scattershot can completely change because he decides to start going after my Coral Lurker. Now, also, I won here, my Phyrexian Hero and Coral Lurker, just them having the combo damage on the first position was another thing that won, because as the scatter damage in the back starts to bounce around and have trouble killing people, you can see that I'm able to just kind of melt through that front of the line, and then we finally get him starting to get some misses. And also, the other reason why I won this game is because his Contessa on this Blizzard Wizard is only level 2. It doesn't have the splash damage. Otherwise, all those times she was shooting the Scavo Chemist, she would have been doing the damage to get rid of the blind off. And I just took over and won. But I was just showing you kind of like a Yasik team that can win. Also, this is a team that has been talked about as being pretty ridiculous. So this is when Yasik isn't available, Dragon's not available, you want to go ahead and play Katrelbra in the back row with Manaroth in the front with some healers and some ways to protect him. And then she's going to start to just do some work. Now, again, he has some insane luck with Ra here. Watch him attack like the only person. I didn't want him to attack Katrelbra. That would have been really bad too, because she only has 4 HP. But she comes in, she gets some nice hits on him, and then he kills Dr. Blight. That's not great, but he's going to come back. And then, boom, he just pops her for 8 with that double damage. She comes back, but then she's going to get melted away here. But this is another example of an interesting play here. Can I beat this very expensive dual cost summoner with this team? And she hasn't started rolling yet, and she gets hit down to 1 HP. But here, without missing, we get our first Bloodlust. So now we're up to 2. We've increased our overall HP. We've picked up an armor because she ends up keeping one of those armors on the Bloodlust. And then I believe she might pick up a heal here. No, she doesn't pick up the heal. So she was still a possible target for Dr. Blight to just ruin me, but I got lucky. That again, Scattershot working out okay. But see, that armor being there was super clutch. Now she bloodlust again. We're going to get that triage off in the back row again. And we're going to just find a way to have her just start to go completely wild in the back. I know she picks up a heal at some point. Again, dodging Dr. Blight, that could have been problematic. He could have caused an affliction poison on her that would have ended her the next round possibly. But then we start off with the bloodlust. Monster comes back just so I can bloodlust again. And a lot of people are saying that her in the back right now is just kind of ridiculous with Grimbardoon or Manaroth up in the front, and she just lays waste to those back rows, which is kind of interesting. Here again, when you are able to use Yasik, he is very meta right now. Plato ruined my night for a second. I just don't know why I didn't see this team coming. I should have saw it coming. But then this is where that night started. So what are some of the teams that can beat the Grimbardoon? The main thing I will say is obviously the Yasik teams when he's available. Also, when you give Mango a free win, that's never fun. But you want to think about doing either a lot of damage to the first position, because sometimes they won't put enough healers with Grimbardoon, or you want to use a similar Grimbardoon lineup, but you want to use scattershot monsters. So a real good one to try is you can go the life team. If you have the archer leveled up to be the healer, you can do double healers with the oh gosh, what my brain is hurting all of a sudden. A little bit tired here. Can't remember the name of the cards. Oh, sorry. See, as I say that, I yawn. He's not a rebellion card. He's a Chaos Legion card, and he is a very important one. Acid Shooter. So you can use a card like Acid Shooter in the back, and then you go ahead and use the Goblin Psychic behind Grimbardoon, and then from the Rebellion set you use Sartha. So you get the 2 heals, you get to look out if they happen to have something, and then you can also theoretically throw in some stuff. Now, obviously, Acid Shooter having that back row poison is really, really important. Another card that is interesting for another team that can do some interesting things is obviously Life, because they have a couple different scattershot monsters. Scattershot has become major league meta in those matches because but the one team that seems to be possible to beat him in decent mana is Possibilist. So what can happen here is you can run water, you can run Possibilist, and you can just put yourself in a situation where you're putting really large-sized attackers on the board. Now, because if they're going a Grimbardoon deck and there's a chance that they're going to scattershot into the back, if you throw out a lineup with big beefy melee monsters, like you have like Deep Lurker in the back, you put Manaroth in the front, you give yourself a protect on top of the protect so that Manaroth maybe has a bigger armor strike. You go ahead in that second position, you can put Manaroth in that second position too, because you're running Possibilist, and so he has reach, and then you could put a nice big attacker up in the front row. That can do some good damage. There's a couple different cards that fit the bill. I think, and then you also throw cards like Kulu Mastermind out onto the board. There's and you just put all these big melee attackers. You want to look for guys that can do 5 or 3, so that they're doing 2 or 3 damage when they're attacking him. And sometimes, because Grimbardoon's health is not extremely high, if they only played one health character in the front, and you've got something like Coastal Century in the front, and then you got Grimbardoon behind, you got Deep Lurker sitting there, so you got a 5/5 an armor strike that might be a 5 with a regular strike of a 3, and then you can maybe put another character on the board that can do another double attack, or do like front row damage. You can sometimes get through him faster than their little lineup can heal him. That's one of the things I've seen that works. Now, the one problem with that is you're kind of rolling the dice that they're only going to go single healer or double healer. If they go triple healer, which is possible to do, then it doesn't work as well. But if mana's kind of low and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to go triple healer on you, given it's harder to do a big melee attacker, then that's the only lineup that I've seen that has been really effective against the Grimbardoon one. Other than that, right now the meta is very much Avina with Inevitable and Lily Shieldpaw with Grimbardoon, and a Kane is the other combo to use with when gladiators are available. I finally got to try that out with Kachelba. That's pretty ridiculous, but that is very, very niche. You can't really use that often. And then if fire and drag, and then if fire's available, you use and dragon at the same time. You usually can go Yasik to get around the kitty. If you think your opponent's going to do that, you can maybe try to play some inside baseball and play something to counter Yasik. But then if they go the dragon team, you're just going to lose. So you end up with a lot of Yasik versus Yasik because of that. So remember that. You might want to prepare for the fact that you might be doing a Yasik versus Yasik and going faster than you really like. Adding that extra speed can be very pivotal. Water and Possibilist, I've heard some people say it's really meta right now in the lower leagues. I don't think it's as meta in the top, but it can work when in those situations I was talking about. Earth is part of the Lily Shieldpaw meta for Grimbardoon. You can go Earth and double heal, like I said. You can go Life and double heal, or you can go Water and double heal. Water is my favorite lineup because you can also give Grimbardoon magic damage and give your healers magic damage with the weapons training. But Death has that ability to go Grimbardoon with magic in the background that you saw me lose to, and that's pretty meta. So I hope you guys like this. I just wanted to talk a little bit about like some of the lineups that I'm seeing that are so dominant right now. And once again, just hope you all had a good season, had good rewards, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.